Next on TCM, Paper Moon, then The Man I Love, and later, My Brilliant Career. TCM is programming classics like it's our job tonight.
Back here with Coleman Domingo, Academy Award nominee, two-time Academy Award nominee, Emmy winner, Tony nominee, Fear of the Walking Dead for what, like 8 seasons?
8 seasons.
8 seasons.
Yeah.
You on all 8?
All 8. I was the only one on all 8 seasons.
Wow. Coleman has picked a double feature for us tonight. We just had Alfred Hitchcock's Rear Window up next, directed by Peter Bogdanovich, 19 years later, 1973. Ryan O'Neal and Tatum O'Neal in Paper Moon. So I asked you last time about what's magical about Jimmy Stewart. You gave a great answer. So what here, when you look at Ryan O'Neal, a very different type of character here in Paper Moon. He's a con man driving around Depression-era Kansas with a little girl who may or may not be his daughter. Certainly he doesn't know it to be his daughter, although he starts to maybe wonder he must. So what draws you to Ryan O'Neal's performance here?
I think that it's such a charismatic performance, and you're with him. You're hooked from the beginning. You know he's a con man. Like you're saying, he's a low-level con man.
Right.
He's not doing it right in many ways. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah.
And I think at the end of the day, you see all the choices he makes. He does make the better choice. You know, I think he's always at a crossroads and like, oh, to leave the kid, not to leave the kid. Oh man, I have to be a better man, and he doesn't want to be, but he's being challenged with this young girl to be the better man. That's what I think is so interesting about it. He's actually funny. He's charming.
Oh, very.
You know what I mean? I think like he and Tatum O'Neal, the way they get into it with each other, it's masterful. It's great comedy, but also at the end of the day, there's some really sweet moments. I would say they also have like incredible supporting performances. Madeline Kahn's monologue that she gives when she's walking up the hill to get the little girl to come down, it has such an arc that is
And
so
that's not even
beautiful.
that funny.
It's super heartfelt,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah.
also funny at the same time.
We're coming, baby doll, and if you don't find me some old gas station soon, this little old snowflake's gonna wet her pantaloons.
One of the great things about this job is how well I got to know Peter Bogdanovich, Mel Brooks too, and those are the two directors who gave Madeline Kahn these big breaks, and said the exact same thing, which that she had no idea how funny she was. Like she was all, they had to be like, no, you understand, you're hilarious,
Yeah.
and no one else could do this
Yes.
the way you're doing this.
Well, because she always plays it straight. That's the joy about comedy. I mean, really good comedy, you have to play it straight. She just plays the stakes and the emotion in her action, and she's wickedly brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, you know, look, Tatum O'Neal called it one of the, Peter Bogdanovich said this was one of the worst experiences of his life to get this performance out of her, but he was enormously proud of the performance that she ultimately elicited. But it was hard on a daily basis. Hard.
Why? Why
In that
does it-
street where they're driving down together, I mean, a lot of scenes, but one of the ones in particular where they drove down together and they had to capture the whole thing in one take, and they had to do it like 35 times. She kept blowing her line, sometimes on purpose.
You don't like me, do ya?
No, I don't like you.
Ryan O'Neal was incensed at his daughter, right? Furious.
And maybe that's the tension that made it so good, too,
Yeah.
like when they finally got the shot. Also, P.J. Johnson.
Yeah.
My God, she's so funny and so raw that everything about her just feels like she was plucked off some farm.
It seems like she could have had a great career as an
Yeah.
actor, but there wasn't anything after this. But
Exactly.
yeah, really good casting. Clearly great casting agents there on.
Yeah.
But yeah, that dynamic that it is Ryan and his daughter Tatum. You know, look, man, good actors can create anything, right? The number of times we say on TCM they didn't get along, but you don't know,
Yeah.
right? You know,
Yeah.
you've, I'm sure, had great scenes with actors who you never wanted to see again.
I've been pretty lucky.
Who are those actors?
Who are they? What are their
Let me
names?
get my
No,
pen
you
out
know
and
what?
write this down.
I don't have many, thank God, but I feel like I've been very blessed with the co-stars that I have. Really, anyone who's really to get into the work and really just let it sing and be brand new every time is like, that's my kind of actor.
So what's special about Paper Moon?
Paper Moon, I love how expansive and with its wide shots, and it's really a simple story. It's really just a father and daughter story, and people trying to make it in rural America with whatever they have.
Right.
I think it's a classic American story. You know, people trying, looking at the system of what you have, and you're like, but I still need to eat, I still need to get ahead, I still need to get to that location. That's what I think is so special about it. I love all the characters. I think all the characters are so clarified and so clear with their objectives and what they want.
Even like Noble Willingham, who plays a character early in the movie, Ryan O'Neal cons $200 out of him. He has one scene. But
One
he's
scene.
sensational in it.
Great little scenes like that.
Great little scenes. These one characters who come in, but their impact on the film is.
And again,
lasting.
both of these films like surprise you, I think, with their emotion as well. I think I'm just attracted to films that give you a good sense of like who you are, who you possibly want to be, what you think it could be. Every time I watch Paper Moon, I feel like, wow, that you're left with a great feeling.
You are left with a great feeling.
And who would think we are dealing with a con man?
Right.
And his soon-to-be con daughter.
Right. Coleman, thank you very much. Let's watch the movie.
Let's do it.
More to discuss afterwards. Here it is from 1973, directed by Peter Bogdanovich, starring the O'Neills, Ryan and Tatum, along with Madeline Kahn, P.J. Johnson, John Hillerman, many more. Paper Moon. Back with Coleman Domingo, two-time Academy Award nominee, one of the great actors of his generation. So thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Coleman picked a couple of movies in his 2-for-1. That's how 2-for-1 works. You pick a couple of movies. Rear Window and Paper Moon. So you don't think there's no doubt that he's the father.
He's absolutely
Yeah, I mean, it's
the
crazy
father.
to even wonder it, right?
He's absolutely the father.
Yeah, of course.
I think he knew it when he saw her.
Right.
The first moment he saw her.
Like
at the
when he
funeral,
looks around at
he
her.
looks around. He knows.
And then he realizes, nobody knows who the father is. So
No,
it's,
but he looked
it's
but he
someone
looked
like
at that
me.
kid.
Right.
And I mean, that's genius casting. But you're like, yeah, Tatum O'Neal looks just like Ryan O'Neal. Their eyes, the way their face is set. They look at each other and they're like, yeah, no, we're related. And then they try to deny it.
Early thoughts on this film was going to be directed by John Huston with Paul Newman and Nell Potts, his daughter. Really tells you that they only wanted to cast an actual father and daughter.
Yeah.
Indicating that, yeah, maybe it is his daughter.
Something meta about it, yeah.
I like that at the end, the place where Addie is left, they thought the sister hated the mother, but the sister is incredibly loving, incredibly worried.
It's a warm home.
It's a warm home. They're clearly good people. They would take care of that kid.
Yeah.
They would love that kid. But
she makes the choice. She was
Right.
like, I'd rather be with my father.
I'd rather be with my father.
And I love that he's so begrudging, but he knows, he's like, the best place for her is to be with me.
Yeah.
We'll do this together.
Yeah. And when they lie about my daughter, like, I wonder if he's gonna, I wouldn't mind being able to have had the opportunity to see Paper Moon too.
Yeah.
But it's nice. They're gonna, they're chasing a car down a hill, but that's
That
what
last
they're like.
moment
Yeah.
too, you're like, you look at that, you're like, that's just a beautiful moment, It's all in one take too, and you're like, that there had to be some safety person in there to grab the kid or something. At least you hoped, but it just felt like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I'm just touched by the way, they're in the middle of these arguments. He never says, "I'll take you back," right? Come with me. I mean, he's still theoretically he says, "I told you already. I don't want you here." Something like that. And then she's like, "Mose," and the car's rolling down. And so they run and get in it, and then they go. And the other time when he was going to ditch her one at the train station,
Yes.
right? And then when they're mad at each other, and he's like, they're working out where he can drop her off, how they can get to St. Joseph's quicker, but they end up just looking at different places on the map where they can fleece people.
Right, exactly.
So they didn't want to. He didn't want to leave her.
No,
Yeah.
no, he didn't. I think he knew she had to be with him. I think, and she knew that too.
Like these two movies, you could have picked anything. What is it that makes you continue to love a movie again and again and again, no matter how many times you've seen it?
It's funny, I'll always go back to certain movies, and I think it's because I think it's something about their search for their own humanity, I think, and extraordinary events. Ultimately, I think I'm attracted to very sort of simple stories. Even like the idea of Rear Window, it's just a man sitting there.
Rear
watching.
Window's a complicated movie to make, but the story's pretty simple. This isn't crazy. It's a road trip picture with a man and a little girl trying to survive in the Depression era Kansas.
Literally, I said this morning after I watched Paper Moon again, and I thought, ultimately, I think these are the kind of movies that I think I'm attracted to, but also as an actor, where I feel like, oh, these are the kind of protagonists that I think are interesting to me.
You'd like to play
Yes.
L.B. Jeffries in Rear Window. You'd like to play Mose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Because though they're such rich characters and they're complicated, you know what I mean? And they've got a lot going on, you know what I mean? One, even if he's just sitting in front of a window, has a lot going on, with his...
Right, he doesn't move.
No.
And real quick, in Rear Window, I read this morning, and it struck me that Raymond Burr's a traveling salesman and Jimmy Stewart's a traveling photographer. Like, they both have the same kind of life. That's something that I'm sure Hitchcock thought was interesting. Coleman and Bingo, This couldn't have been better. Thanks very much.
man. This is
Appreciate it.
great.
Really
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you.
I
Look forward
appreciate
to more movie talks in the future.
Me too. Thank you.
Coleman's work is done for the night, but the movies, of course, continue here on TCM, and you can say it with me. As always, they are uncut and commercial-free.
Next on TCM, The Man I Love, then My Brilliant Career, and later, Sweetie. TCM puts a little sugar in your bowl tonight.